Hello everyone. So in this video, we'll be discussing the annual worth method. So this is still under the basic methods for economy studies. So this is another method under the economy studies. So if you haven't checked the other methods yet, you may check that from the previous video that I have created. So now, again, we'll be discussing annual worth method. So what is annual worth method? So annual worth method is this method is in this method, interest on the original investment, sometimes called minimum required profit, is included as cost. If the excess of annual cash inflows over annual cash outflows is not less than zero, the proposed investment is justified. Meaning to say, um, we can still profit if the cash inflows over annual cash outflows is not less than zero. We have the formula now, annual cash inflow minus annual cash outflow. Again, this should be greater than or equal to zero in order for the investment to be good or to be profited. So we have here an example. An investment of 270,000 pesos can be made in a project that will produce a uniform annual revenue of 185,400 pesos for 5 years and having a salvage value of 10% of the investment. Out of the pocket's cost for operation and maintenance will be 81,000 pesos per year. Taxes and insurance will be 4% of the first cost per year, and the company expects capital to earn not less than 25% before income taxes. Using annual worth method, determine the annual cash flow. Is this a desirable investment? So again, we need to identify the given values that we have. So we have FC, or the capital investment is 270K. We also have the uniform annual revenue. So the AR is equivalent to 185,400 pesos for 5 years. So we have N is equal to 5. Having a salvage value of 10% of the investment. So meaning to say 10% of 270K. So we have 27,000. And we have the out-of-pocket cost for operation and maintenance. So we have OM. So this is still the same example as what we used from the previous video. So I hope you have already watched that. We also have the taxes and insurance, TI. That is equivalent to 4% of the first cost per year. So 4% of 270K is 10,800 pesos. The company expects capital to earn not less than 25%. So I is 25%. Using annual worth method, determine the annual cash flow. Is this a desirable investment? So now we'll be determining again the cash flow. So first, in order for us to know, we need to identify what are the inflows, the cash inflows and the cash outflows. So again, it the company or the investment is profiting 185,400 per year. So meaning to say AR, or this one is our um, this is our inflow, or the money that goes into the investment. So this is the inflow. And the outflow will be the annual cost. So again, we have the cash outflow or the annual cost that is equivalent to the 81,000, or the operate operation and maintenance. So we have 81,000 plus the taxes and insurance, which is 10,800, plus again the depreciation, which is FC 270K minus 27K multiplied by the rate or interest rate, which is 0.25 divided by 1 plus 0.25 raised to 5 minus 1, plus in the annual worth method, the again cost or the interest of the capital is included in the annual cost. So meaning to say we have 270K multiplied by the interest, which is 0.25. That is included as a cost of the investment. So if you calculate this one, this is equivalent to 188,908.76. So this is our AC. So again, for this one, this is just simply inflow minus outflow. So inflow is 185,400 minus our cash outflow, which is 188,908.76. So again, this should not be less than or equal to 0, because if it is, then that is not a good investment. So 185,400 minus 188,908.76 is a negative number, negative 3,908.76, meaning to say, as you can see, this is negative. So meaning to say this is not a great investment. So we have here another example under the annual worth method. So a man is considering investing 500,000 pesos to open a semi-automatic auto washing business in a city of 400,000 population. The equipment can wash on the average 12 cars per hour, using two men to operate it and to do small amount of handwork. The man plans to hire two men in addition to himself and operate the station on an 8-hour basis, 6 days per week and 50 weeks per year. He will pay his employees for 25 pesos per hour. He expects to charge 25 pesos for a car wash. Out of pocket miscellaneous cost would be 8,500 per month. He would pay his employees for 2 weeks vacation each year. Because of the length of his lease, he must write off his investment within 5 years, and his capital now is earning 15%, and he is employed at a steady job that pays 25,000 pesos per month. He desires a rate of return of at least 20% of his investment. Using annual worth method, determine the excess of annual revenue over the annual cost. Would you recommend the investment? So again, we'll solve this problem by identifying the given values that we have. So we need to determine two types, the outflow and the cash flow. So we'll just write that here in a table. So we have the outflow and we also have the inflow. So for the inflow, it was said earlier that the capital is now earning 15%. So meaning to say, the capital is already earning 15%. That is inflow already, because that is the money for. So the cost now is equivalent to FC times I, which is equivalent to 500K times 15%. Um, Again, the equipment can wash 12 cars per hour using, so that is the profit that you have. So you have 12 cars per hour using, the man plans to hire two men in addition to himself and operate the station on an 8-hour basis. So times 8 hours in a day times 6 days per week, and we also have 50 weeks per year. So again, you need to remember that we are in annual basis, so we need to find, or we need to solve each given according to its year. So this is per year. Days, weeks. So if you multiply this one, this is equivalent to times 25, because that is 25 pesos per car. So that is the profit now is 720,000 per year. So this is the cash inflow of, or the profit of, the car wash. Next is we have the miscellaneous cost. So we'll just write NISC here. The miscellaneous cost, which is 85 or 8,500 per month. But again, we need to find it annually. So we need to multiply that by 12. So 85 times 12 is 102,000 pesos. And he would pay his employees for 2 weeks vacation each year. So for the vacation of the employees, we have 2 employees times 8 hours a day times 6 days per week times 50 weeks per year times 25 per hour na salary of the employee. So, the vacation is worth 4,800 pesos for the 2 employees. But again, the car wash, he will pay his employees 25 pesos per hour. So the salary of the employee, I'll just write employee here. 25, 2, they are 2 times 25 times, again we have the 8 times 6 times 50. So the salary of the employees is equivalent to 120,000. So this is the labor of the employees. And again, he has a steady job that pays 25,000 per month. So since he gave that up in order for him to have to manage the car wash by himself, so you still need to add that one to your outflow. So the salary is 25K per month, so you need to multiply that by 12, and that is equivalent to 300,000. So this is now the cash inflow and the cash outflow um, of the investment. So now we just need to add up the AC, or the annual cost that we have. So that is for the outflow. So 102,000 plus 4,800 plus 120,000 for the employees, and the salary, which is 300,000. But we forgot one aspect, or one outflow here is the depreciation. So for the depreciation, we have the first cost, which is 500,000 or 500K, minus no salvage value, times the 20%, so 0.20, all over 1 plus 0.20 raised to n, which is, again, this is 5 years. So we have 5 years minus 1. So the depreciation is equivalent to 74,157.76. So now these are the annual costs that we have. So AC is equivalent to the sum of all of this. So if you try to sum up this one, you'll get 600,957.16. So this is now the total annual cost. So now in order for us to know if the investment is a good investment is we need to check the inflow versus the outflow. But as you can see from here, he desires a rate of return. So meaning to say we need to use the formula of the rate of return. So the ROR now is equivalent to AR minus AC all over C. But in ROR or rate of return, the cost or of this one is not included in the calculation for the rate of return. So we just have the AR or the annual revenue, which is 720,000 per year. So we have 720K minus our annual cost, which is 600,957.16. This is 0.76. So this is 0.76 divided by C, which is the capital. So that is 500K. So calculating that one, we'll have 0.2381 and multiply that by 100%. So you'll get 23.81%. So as you can see from here, it is expecting at least 20% of his investment. So the rate of return that we have got is 23.81. So meaning to say this is a good investment. So that's it for this video, and I hope to see you on my next videos for other methods.